Hello and welcome to my YouTube channel. Today part 2 of my embellishments for my album. It is my Seafarer album and I'm looking now for a page. I'm searching for a white page. Here you can see it on the right side. It has a little mistake. Yes, you can see a little mark. Yeah, and I want to cover it so you can't see it anymore. And now I'm searching for a stencil and perhaps also for the right paper, because I want to have a paper which fits perfectly to my other pages. I made some experiments with my Geli Plate and I used distress oxides and brochures, and here you can see the vivid colored page, and also on the backside is another print, a mono print by the Geli Plate. Yeah, and this is a cardstock, a blue one, and I am thinking of using this cardstock into to fit and to put into my album. I think this is perhaps the better choice, but I must think what I can put also onto the page. But first of all, I have now my pencil and I want to make little marks so I can cut it, the paper, and I want to make a little pocket. And I have to consider that you must fold the page so you can't make a very thick pocket. And now I'm thinking about it, how I will cut my paper. Again, I'm using my trimmer, my paper trimmer. I use the one from Tonic Studios. And now I have to score my paper. I want to have a little pocket, as I said, and now I try it again. Controlling is also a good idea. Yeah, and this little stripe is left over. It is a scrap, and I want to hide my white paper. And when you have a pocket and you open it, you don't see now the white things behind, and I think that looks better than before. Yeah, and now it is time to glue my blue cardstock as a pocket into my album. As you can see now, I control my folding and it is nice and flat, even it is a pocket, and you don't have any problems to turn your page. Yeah, I think the blue paper is a good idea for this page. Yeah, and on my next page I have a stamp I used from Lavinia, and I made a little scene with my mermaid and a background and also some words. And the mermaid has something in her hand, and I use for it Nuvo glow drops, and they shine in the dark. And I'll show you in the little picture that it is really true. This effect is really, really nice. I am not sure where I will put this little paper into my album, and I think I will find a place for her, and yeah, here I show you now that I used a wing of Stella. This is something you put onto your paper and it gives a little bit of shiny effects, and yeah, I like it here on the ocean. Again, I'll take my paper I made with the Geli Plate I told you before, and I use now three different inks. They are all distress oxides, and I want to hide the white frame, and therefore I use my oxides. I think it is a good idea to start with the light colors and then go further on with the darker ones. And I show you now that I make my frame really dark because I want to have a contrast for my stencil. I want to use in a few seconds. And yeah, with my stencil I had a little problem. Yeah, also, what can I say? The stencil is wonderful and I like it. The stars are so wonderful, and also the sentence. Yeah, but I used the wrong medium. I used Crackling Mousse from Nuvo. By the way, I really like this Crackling Mousse from Nuvo, but in this case I had a problem with it. It doesn't want to stay on my paper. Yes, and that was really a problem because I thought only the sentence was my problem, but when the paper dried, I could rub off my embellishment mousse. Yeah, and when you can put your finger on a star or an embellishment and it is in danger to fall off your paper, that is not a good result. And so, yeah, I couldn't use it as I want to use it in my album. Yeah, and now I want to decide what I will do next. I have a flap on the top, and it is cardstock. Of course, it is thicker than paper, but I want to put something on it because I want to have it more sturdy. Yeah, and now I think this is the right paper, the right size, but I must trim it a little bit. I use again my paper trimmer, and I have this little tool, and I can make very nice corner with it. Yeah, and I think this was not enough, so I want to do something more with another paper. This tool is excellent to make round corners, or you can have also different corners and have a nice embellishment. Yeah, here I used a stamp by Katzenlkraft. It is a French stamp company. Yeah, and I had a problem to transfer my ink onto my paper. Yeah, it was a problem because my paper wasn't the right one to stamp on it. Yeah, and what can I do now? I want to use my paper, and I use now this color, and I cover the whole paper with my color by I think, yeah, it is Pentart. It is a Decor paint, I think. Yes, the name is Decor paint. I can give you this little advice. If you have a paper which you don't like because you made a little mistake, don't throw it away. You can cover it with gesso or with acrylic paints or something like that. Yeah, and this is a sketch pad I bought from Action, and I use this paper very often for my stamps, for my stamping, and I like it because the results are not bad. I think it is not a paper which was meant for stamping, but I use it for some things like this. Yeah, by the way, I used Tack'n Peel on my acrylic sorry, on my acrylic block, and the stamps made by Katzenlkraft are not mounted, and I don't like mounting my stamps. And if you use this little tool, this foil, it is a very tacky foil, and you put it on your acrylic block, when you can put your unmounted stamp directly on the block and stamp with it. I use my stamp now on the wrong side, the wrong way, because I want to have a good result of my stamp, of my print. And yeah, I have the best results when the stamp is a little bit bigger, when you do it this way from the back side. Yeah, but you can use the Tack'n Peel, and now I show you. You can take your stamp away, and the thing is still tacky, and I use now the foil to cover this Tack'n Peel. You should cover it well with the foil, because it is tacky and all the dust you don't want to have on your foil. And I have it all the time on my acrylic block because I use it so often. Yeah, and now, by the way, I made a special video with a Tack'n foil, and perhaps you can watch it on my channel. Yeah, and now I use a stamp made by Nellie Snellen, and yeah, you can see that I use the same acrylic block with acrylic, with clear stamps and also with unmounted stamps, because one side is with the foil and the other side is still my acrylic block. Yeah, and now I have a stamp which is very interesting. It is a stamp you can use with your clay, and you can press it in your clay and have great structure things. But you can also use it, of course, as a normal stamp, and I use it now as a stamp in my stamping body. I can't use now my Tack'n Peel because it is not big enough for this stamp, and I have a leftover from my foil, but it is also not big enough. So yeah, and now I show you another stamp by EFCO. It is I think it is a maritime one, and I like the details, and I must say especially this one is really, really nice. Yeah, and again I use now my special paper. Yeah, and I use again my Versafine, because I think Versafine is a very good ink pad for very detailed stamps. And yeah, you will see it now when I use it. Yeah, of course, I put now again my stamp on my laminated sheet. I made it on my own, and I made a video how I use it, and yeah, perhaps you can watch it on my channel. Yeah, the great advantage is when you have ink on your foil, that is not a problem because you can easily clean your laminated sheet. And here is in my stamping body only something like a mouse pad, and if you don't pay attention with your ink, you have all the ink on your mouse pad. Yeah, and now I show you the details of my stamp. The lighting house, the sailing ship, and yeah, here are so many things to discover. You can also use your colors and make a wonderful picture of it, but now I will use it as it is, and I clean now my stamp. Yes, and for today it is enough, and I hope you enjoyed my video. I wish you a wonderful creative day, and yeah, perhaps you can like my video, and if you want you can subscribe to my channel. That would be great. Thank you. Bye bye.